Trump isn't tanking the economy, he's just making it worse so it can succeed later. See? It's all about the rebrand. This is just another day. Donald Trump may be above acknowledging his mistakes, admitting the error of his ways, and apologizing for past transgressions, but he sure as hell is not above a completely meaningless rebrand.
The president is set to sign an executive order today to rebrand the Defense Department, give it a new name, an old name actually, the Department of War.
This really does make sense for Trump. I mean, once you've acquired high-end real estate, designer clothing, and luxury vehicles, what else is there to help you overcompensate for having a small penis? Frankly, if a year from now the Pentagon looks like this, I won't be surprised. Now, there are a lot of questions left to be answered. One is, will Republicans in Congress help Trump in his overcompensation efforts? Because this is merely an executive order, and a formal name change requires congressional approval. Also, how much will this cost? I mean, I know the guy who spends hundreds of millions of dollars on a White House ballroom no one asked for is very concerned about budget, so shall we talk about price?
Do you know how much this rebrand will actually cost? And are there any concerns about, the Pentagon's mission of actually cutting back on spending?
Yeah, but not a lot. We know how to rebrand without having to go crazy. We don't have to recarve a mountain or anything. We're going to be doing it not in the most expensive. We're going to start changing the stationery as it comes due and lots of things like that.
Oh, good. Trump isn't addressing where the troops are stationed. He's addressing the stationery they receive while they're there, which I've always heard has been the biggest complaint as it relates to the military. Hey, I'm fine being used as a political tool to overpolice the streets of LA, DC, and Chicago, but don't you dare mail me a card that has the word defense on the letterhead. But if the person most affected by this was anyone, it was the guy in charge, Pete Hegseth, who wasted no time illustrating what Americans can expect from this brand new yet still exactly the same institution.
Maximum lethality, not tepid legality. Violent effect, not politically correct.
Just saying stuff, trying to sound tough. Empty words, making you look absurd. Dropping rhyme bombs, embarrassing your mom. Sorry, I just got wrapped up in the whole slam poetry vibe. Kind of crazy that Congress just allocated $1 trillion to the Pentagon, and Hegseth didn't use a penny of it on a speechwriter. By the way, Hegseth should at least use some of that trillion to pay Damon Wayans for stealing one of his characters.
We must internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate the crux of my venereal infection.
I would take that guy over Hegseth any day of the week. But it wasn't just the Pentagon that was remarketed today. The August jobs report came out and, let's just say it was also in need of some rebranding.
So this jobs report really does confirm that employers are dramatically slowing down their hiring. Only 22,000 jobs were added to the workforce in August. That was way below expectations. The unemployment rate also ticked higher to 4.3%, highest rate now in nearly 4 years. So if you are looking for a job right now, it is a lot harder to get one.
Hold on. There are still some jobs out there that seem to be in high demand. Like if you happen to be a certified lie spewer, I know a guy who's hiring.
You look at the unemployment rate numbers today, wait till a year from today. Wow, it will be amazing numbers.
If you look at the indicators, there's capital spending boom, industrial production at an all-time high. The Atlanta Fed says GDP now is north of 3%. And so all the indicators are saying that things are really strong.
Well, not all the indicators. I mean, the numbers and the facts indicate something different, but other than those, I totally agree. Want to try again?
Goldman Sachs put out a study yesterday that said that the August number tends to be really messed up because of seasonal adjustment things, and they tend to be revised way up. And so I think if they were revised up, which has happened on average over the last 15 years by about 60,000, then everything else would make sense. But right now we're puzzled about the BLS numbers and looking forward for new leadership there.
Yes, it is so puzzling why the numbers are so bad. I mean, here you are implementing policies that thousands of economists around the world have said will produce bad numbers, and then the numbers come out bad. I guess it's like Occam's razor suggests. When you're looking for an answer as to why something is happening, just fire the statistician until you get the answer you want. Look, what is abundantly clear is that the main focus of Donald Trump's entire agenda is rebranding. People aren't questioning the motives of the military, it's the name they have a problem with. The unemployment rate isn't bad, it's just a setup for great jobs numbers in the future. And there isn't credible evidence that Trump is covering for a pedophile, it's all a Democratic hoax. All of this is a cynical tool used to distance themselves from their own terrible strategies. Thanks to this president's liberating tariffs, which move up and down faster than Lauren Boebert's hand at a performance of Beetlejuice the musical, the world is no longer investing in America. But it's pretty hard to make investment decisions when the thing you are investing in is filled with uncertainty, which is why people aren't hiring and why manufacturing has plummeted. This administration loves telling us how the overseas production is coming back to the US, but it's all a fiction, because while you may be able to slap a tariff on China, India, or Vietnam overnight, it takes a tad bit longer to build the factory where those products are made. But that's the beauty of a rebrand. It is a sleight of hand used to distract people from the truth. That's why Trump calls it a big, beautiful bill and a pro-growth strategy, and repeatedly pulls the string on his back to say this.
We're the hottest, we're the best financially. The money coming in is so big because of tariffs. Our country is the hottest in the world right now. 1 year ago, we were a dead country. Now we're the hottest country in the world.
See? It's a pretty sweet slogan if you don't stop and examine reality. Kind of like how after you pound a few Red Bulls, you realize, wait, this doesn't give me wings, it just gave me shakes and debilitating diarrhea. But this administration doesn't want you to examine reality because the truth is diametrically opposed to Trump's hottest country in the world slogan. And the truth is, this president's policies are contracting the middle class. They've cut their healthcare, cut their food stamps, made housing and rent more expensive, and thanks to those tariffs, which are a consumption tax, the price of everyday goods has gone up. Republicans used to consider themselves the party of jobs and business, which is a hard pill to swallow since, in my lifetime, a Republican administration has never created more jobs than a Democratic administration, has never had lower unemployment than a Democratic administration, and has never had a stronger economy than a Democratic administration. All they want is a middle class that stays put and congratulates this president on how gold his office is. Look, America has always been an aspirational nation, but the things our leaders encourage us to aspire to has changed. John F. Kennedy told us we could go to the moon, but Donald Trump wants us to own it. Just a slight shift in priorities. This administration is full of deceitful hypocrites who will peddle one lie after another in an effort to prop up a wannabe autocrat hell-bent on shredding the Constitution. Or to rebrand that into something a little bit more marketable, I guess they could say that they're making America great again. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.